What is going? What's going on, Mixed Reactions? This is Ian Blackwell. I'm with Casey Merritt. We're without Justin Duncan tonight, and we have a lot of that. We have a lot of things to break down. We have our conference finals matchups set. One of those series begins right after we finish recording that show. Put that hot Cheeto back, Pepper. I'm with Casey today. How's your day going, big dog?
Oh man, I have been in game mode all day long. I am ready.
He's like, well, if we start at 4 o'clock on the fuck, if we start at 7 on the dot, then yeah. Like, damn, man, you guys are
dude, I ain't missing a dribble of that game. I'm not a dribble.
It's not like you're gonna miss a Jalen Brad left hand dribble. Ayo, left hand dribble. See, I can't even fucking insult people correctly. But yeah, man, first thing I want to talk about, and I'm sure, it's a lot of our viewers, listeners want to hear about it too. Minnesota Timberwolves obviously played game 7 against, well, the Knicks got their ass kicked. We'll kind of talk about that in a second. But the Minnesota Timberwolves played game 7 Sunday against the Nuggets. They were down 15 points at halftime, came back despite a very poor shooting night from Anthony Edwards, went into the Ball Arena and ended up coming out with a victory. And now they are in the Western Conference Finals. What did you make of Minnesota's win on Sunday? Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, hats off to a team that young going into that environment and coming out with a win. That shows a lot about the type of grit that Minnesota has and also the type of superstar that Anthony Edwards is developing into right in front of our eyes. I did not expect that, especially after they went up 2-0 in the series and then lost 3 straight. I thought that series was a wrap.
Sure. And especially, like you mentioned,
oh, my bad. To the defending champions, no less. Like, that exactly. Is not like something that...
a scrub-ass team after that happened. Like, they beat Denver.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but I was kind of thinking the same thing. Even though I was saying Minnesota, after they went down 3-2, I was like you said, like, you were up 2-0. You had all the momentum, and that shit got snatched back and then some by the Nuggets, and then you come out, blow them out at the Target Center in Game 6, go down by 15 at halftime, and just, yeah, man, Anthony Edwards is, with John Morant with all of his issues and now his injuries, like, he's going to be the next guy. Like, the NBA is going to push him, and it's going to be a good series against Dallas. But, yeah, shout out to Minnesota. Tough win. They didn't get down on themselves when they were behind. Jokic obviously needed a lot more help than he got in that game. Murray had a great first half. But, yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm honestly kind of excited. She takes one more fucking chip. I'm honestly kind of excited for the tonight's game, man. I've really been going back and forth all day. I know I said earlier, and Pacers 109-106. I don't really know what to make of this one. What do you think it's gonna take specifically tonight for Indiana to come out and steal one on the road? Because it would be stealing one for sure.
Oh, it would absolutely be stealing one. So as far as Indiana coming out and stealing one tonight, right? What I think they would need. You're not going to like my answer. It's for Boston to basically give it away.
You think they're that much better?
I think that the high that they are riding from going into Madison Square Garden and winning a Game 7 against a Knicks team, albeit a very beat-up Knicks team,
Especially the further the game went along.
Yeah, oh my gosh, absolutely. But I think as far as that reality, I think that can come back to bite them. And I feel, especially the way that they shot the ball that game, pretty much I think there might have been like a playoff record close to it, if not for a shooting percentage in a single game.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
They said it earlier on, I think Undisputed. That was the best shooting game by any team ever in the playoffs. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I heard that earlier.
No, absolutely. And so I don't know if that can be sustained, of course. And if it does, great. That's good for them, I suppose. But at the same time, say they have the opposite effect of that tonight, right? And they have a horrible shooting game, Boston's going to blow them off the court. But even if they come with 60% of that, Boston's still going to blow them off the court. I think it's going to take another performance like that, which is it's tough to replicate record-setting performances in back-to-back games. If they don't replicate that, I feel Boston wins pretty handily tonight. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I think Boston is gonna, lackadaisical one of these games during the series and blow it for sure. I just don't see it being in game one.
Yeah. So you kind of think it's more or less going to be back to reality, at least for tonight for Indiana.
Yeah. I got Boston by 12 tonight, at least.
You know what? I got to duplicate my Boston by 40 bet. The thing that made me mad, bro, was like the very next night, Minnesota went out and won by 40. Like, if I would have just placed them on, dude, it was a $10 bet to win like 150. It was like fucking 4 to 1 odds or whatever, the shit is. But, yeah, man, it's just going to be one of those games, I think, to where I don't know what to expect. Indiana's a really good offensive team. Is Halliburton really ready for Holiday, in a game like this yet? I like Halliburton. I think he'll definitely get his at some point during the series. But, with it being game one, Boston is at home. And at this point, they're the team with the experience because at this point, they've been to the conference finals how many years in a row? They've been to the conference finals. Now, what I was thinking of earlier, and I want your take on this, is this – where would you rank this? We don't have to do a whole ranking. We're not going to go all through it. Where would you kind of rank this as far as the biggest championship or bust seasons for, any team in sports? I think this is up there, man, because this is – I don't know if the window's closing, but the WD-40 is on there.
Are you talking about for Boston?
Yeah, for the Celtics.
Well, it's definitely the biggest in the NBA since 17-18 with the Warriors. I mean, if the KD-led Warriors had anything other than a championship season, obviously it would have been a bust. So outside
Well, I think you might have been talking about the year before because they won 2018 was the year they repeated.
Yeah, saying outside even 2017, I'm talking about the first year with KD. They went 73-9 the year before that, right? So if they add Kevin Durant and didn't win a championship, that'd be a bust no matter what, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
so I think it's absolutely the biggest championship or bust season that a team has had since the 17 and 18 Warriors. Now, of course, as far as Boston goes, it's the biggest one since 2008.
Man, that's kind of wild that you say 2008. We obviously know how great that team was, greatest single season turnaround in NBA history. I mean, was that really it was their first year playing together.
No, 100% it was. When you add a Kevin Garnett, who's still in his prime, a Ray Allen, who might be slightly out of his prime,
barely.
And a Paul, just barely, and then a Paul Pierce, who was still in the mix of his prime, albeit on the downward slope of his prime, but still in his prime. I think when you added that into the mix, absolutely it became a championship or bust season, especially when the playoffs hit. When people saw how good they were in the regular season, no question about it, it became a championship or bust season.
That's crazy, man, because I remember that year, bro. The year before, it was the best single season turnaround ever. They won 20 games the year before, 23 games. They were terrible. And
I think it was 17 games or something like that.
And they go out and add. That was just a special team. But yeah, I know. I definitely think this is one of the bigger championship or bust seasons, man, because they don't have the I want to know. I don't know if I say Philly gets a pass, but Philly and Embiid's been banged up. Whatever. The Nuggets already won it last year. Whatever. It don't really. It's not a thing. The Clippers, I think were. I don't know if I'd say championship or bust this past year, but that's we were playing amazing at certain points of the year. For sure.
It's tough to put the Clippers into that category, just because I hate to say it, but just because it's the Clippers. They've had a few runs already with Kawhi and Paul George and haven't gotten it done. Now, say this offseason they keep it together, right, and then they go and add another superstar caliber player, then sure, I think at that point you may be able to enter into that category of championship or bust. But with their rosters currently constructed, I'm not so sure.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a good game tonight. Boston, would you say that this is
if
their
I'm not mistaken,
first...
you have the Pacers winning the series in 6, right?
Yeah, I do.
Do you actually, or are you just talking shit?
I don't know, man. I'm going back and forth on it. I do and I don't. I don't know, man.
Boston's the better team.
I know. Fuck yeah, Boston's the better team. They're the better basketball team, but I don't know if they have the better coach. Like, I don't know, man. Just something about them. And like I've said multiple times on the show in the weeks leading up to this, I hate being the guy that's like Boston's gonna lose because I know they're gonna lose. It's almost what it feels like with me, man. Because like number wise, you look at it and wow, they're fucking amazing. Like they really don't have any glaring weaknesses. But it's like Joe Mazzulla. Like I'm not a big fan of his. Like I don't know, man. Like I just feel like they're front run. I mean, okay, Boston has been dominant this year. Their point differential this year is insane. They've won 3 games by at least 50 this year. But
Absolutely. One of them against the Pacers.
Yeah, one of them was exactly. One of them was against the Pacers. But like, what's different about them? What makes them any less of front runners? I guess now the thing is like the Boston might be so good to where that's all they really need to do is be front runners, you know. But I don't see them as any tougher of a team this year. If anything, rolling through the regular season, like the only thing they're really going to have to fall back on to harden them up is their previous failures. But I mean, other than that, like I don't really like they've been chilling at home for the past week. You know what I'm saying? Like
I get that.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a tough one. I like Halliburton. Obviously, the Pacers, Naismith, I should say, drafted by the Celtics, ends up going to Indiana. The matchups for the Pacers in this series is so tough because, you know, you're going to have Porzingis inside. He'll do fine against Miles Turner. You're going to have Halliburton getting harassed by Holiday.
Porzingis is going to make it back. He's out tonight, already listed. And I will say, man, that's one thing that's kind of giving me some cause to pause, so to speak, is because of the injury to Porzingis. I think it's looking a little bit more serious than people anticipated because he's still not back.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. I don't really like. Do you think? Well, okay, I probably think you're gonna say yes. They could beat them without Porzingis, right?
Sure, I think they can beat. I think they can beat Indiana without Porzingis. Sure. I don't know if they can win the title without Porzingis.
I mean, let's switch gears since we're talking about, you know, because kind of looking forward ahead to the next round for the Celtics. If they do end up making it to the NBA Finals. Dallas at Minnesota, man. I think this is going to be a hell of a series. Who do you got in this one?
Dallas in 6.
Dude,
I'm saying that with confidence, too.
Dallas is a good ball club. They're a good ball club, especially if PJ Washington can keep playing. Like, they're going to be the one team. I love Denver. Like, Denver's a good team, but as far as just energy on the floor, I don't think they can match the energy Dallas has. Like, Dallas has PJ Washington flying all around everywhere. You got Gafford blocking the shit out of everything. It's going to be tough for Minnesota, man. Like, I don't think is Anthony Edwards going to shoot his fucking shit as he did in Game 7? Probably not.
That's a good question.
But I don't know, man. It's just like Dallas is like who. The one thing that's given me, I wouldn't say hope, but I'm making me optimistic for the Timberwolves is the fact that they play such great defense. And, you know, part of me is like, well, who's going to guard Kyrie and Luka? They'll figure it out. McDaniels is 6'10". I mean, I'm sure they're going to get there. You know, whether it's Conley, Alexander, like Luka, Kyrie are going to cook those dudes, whatever. But Minnesota's at home. I don't know, man. I always kind of feel like this is going to be Dallas' year, bro.
I think Dallas Dallas just seems like it's what's the best word I'm looking for? Like it's their year type thing, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, their destiny. Yeah, no, I kind of feel you. Like it does feel like that, especially with how insanely dominant they've been since they got Daniel Gafford since the All-Star break defensively. So
I give you so much props for calling that too.
I was really and you know, and also I was in one of the Clippers videos and shit. I was like, bro, people are gonna be scared to play Dallas. They beat us. Oh, the Clippers aren't scared of Dallas. They're playing Dallas right now. They were forced to play Dallas. You dumb fuck. Dallas is nobody wants to see Dallas, and I think I just proved myself true with the fact that what they just did to Oklahoma City, the refs were giving Oklahoma City that game. Jason Kidd needs to learn when the fuck to call a timeout. That's one thing. And pro sports, and I know we're both, I guess, pretty logical dudes when it comes to pro sports. We understand that, if you're better, you're just better. At some point, this shit comes down to coaching. Jason Kidd does not know when to call a fucking timeout. And against a team like Minnesota, especially in Minnesota, they're gonna run just like they. That's how they came back Sunday against Denver. That's why I told you guys in the group chat. Denver cannot run with these guys. Once Minnesota got up and down the floor a few times, you blink and it's like, oh shit, it's like a 3-point game. But I don't know. Like Jason Kidd leaves a lot to be desired. Like I was watching the game, the Dallas game Saturday, and when Oklahoma City went on an insane run at the end of the first half, Jason Kidd made no attempt to stop the momentum and just let them pour it on. Thankfully, obviously Dallas was able to end up pulling the game out, but I don't know, man. I'm worrisome. Not worrisome. I'm worried about what's going to happen in Minnesota. That was a bad coaching performance. Fuck that.
Let me ask you this. I want you to rank each team's best superstars that are left remaining in the playoffs in order. So that's Luka, Tatum, Halliburton, and Anthony Edwards.
Tatum number 1.
Really?
Yeah, Tatum number 1. I mean, Luka has his shitty games. Tatum, I mean, they're great. He has a shot at basically 3 in the playoffs, but we saw how much he turned it on at the end of the last round. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 straight 33-point games. So I got Tatum number 1, 2, Halliburton.
Excuse me?
What?
Halliburton over Luka?
No, I was just thinking of the names in my head. Sorry, I was thinking out loud. That wasn't my answer. I mean, Luka's had some shitty fucking games in the playoffs. And give me Luka number 2. And then I guess give me... Yeah. Ant number 3. Halliburton number 4. It's like cutting off your right or left hand, man. They've all been great. Like, their teams wouldn't be... I mean, maybe Tatum's team would be where they're if it wasn't for him. But, I mean, they're great players, man. We're going to see what comes out. What about you? How do you got the rankings? Tatum number 1. Is that... You got number 1?
I got Luka number 1. And then I have Tatum number 2, Edwards 3, and then Halliburton 4.
I don't know, man. Luka straight disappeared in a couple of games so far. Tatum hasn't really disappeared like that. It's just been, I mean, Tatum's played like shit, but Tatum still put up the. I don't know. I got Tatum, man. As much as I've talked shit about him over the years, like I think he's the best player left in the playoffs. So I mean, as far as like the way everybody's playing right now, I got Tatum number 1.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I'm not gonna I don't hate on that, but
how about the Bruins?
I mean, all respect to them for going into Florida and winning Game 5. None of the blame should go to Jeremy Swayman. He did all that he could do in that series. Florida was just the better hockey team. There's no other way around it.
Oh, yeah, no, Florida was definitely the better team. And the crazy thing, man, is like, I know Boston fans were licking their chops because they wanted to do Florida the same way that Florida did them last year. And I don't know, the mood around Boston, but I'm pretty sure they were pretty excited about the Bruins. Like, that was, what was it, the best regular season ever last year? And they gave up a 3-1 lead?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. And then Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals, the Panthers lost 9-3 to the Vegas Golden. 9-3 in that final game, bro. I try not to think of that night because I got way too fucked up. Like, June 13th, 2023, that's my baby mama's birthday, funny enough, but that will always have a dark place in my heart. Vegas won, and I don't remember a minute of it. Like, I didn't want to go to the parade, bro. I was going to go to the parade. It fucking shitload of people. Everybody in the city was there, it seemed like. Not I. I was at home being fucking responsible. Fuck that shit. That may be one of those things where I think you and my friend Abe are both of the same thing. Get your fucking life together, bro. Man, but yeah, man, NHL playoffs, fucking, did they riot in Vancouver yesterday?
I wouldn't be shocked, but I couldn't tell you, just to be honest.
And we got Edmonton versus Dallas. We got Florida versus the Rangers. I
I must say, I'm getting
See?
sick of all these Dallas teams making it to the fucking conference finals that ain't the Cowboys.
Did you see the picture that I sent you guys? Or did
Yes,
not
I
send it to
fucking
you?
saw it, Ian.
Yeah. What? Bro, 10,000. Well, what is it like the range? The only reason the Rangers were in like the 300s is because, the season just started. They were the defending champs.
Yeah,
Fucking
no
Cowboys
shit.
haven't been in 10,000. Have you, well, because you're what, 32, 30. Have you ever witnessed the Cowboys make the NFC Championship? No, because you said you started watching it like in when you were probably like late 90s, 2000s, right?
Well, no. So I never told you how I became a Cowboys fan, did I? So
Well, no, you said you were watching them on TV and you just saw the star and you fell in love with it, but I don't remember any more specific than that.
So the first game I ever remember watching, I was about 5 to 6 years old. I don't remember my exact age. If we went back and did the math, we could do it, but I don't remember if I was 5 or 6. It was the Super Bowl 30 between the Steelers and the Cowboys won the game. And it's not that I can recall that much from the game, but it's the first game I ever remember watching, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you just remember it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's like you remember it, you remember it, but you don't remember it. But you do remember it.
Yes, exactly.
I don't even remember when I became a Rams fan.
I remember that's how I became a Cowboys fan. And just fell in love with them ever since and just got addicted to the star, and I've been heartbroken ever since. That's why I think I had the worst sports luck of all time, because I became a fan right then they just started being fucking trash. Well, not trash. See, I hate that because they're never actually a really bad team.
And that's the thing about them. They're never bottom feeders, except for maybe one or two rare seasons.
I think it was 99, 2000. No, it was 2000, 2001, and 2002 was their worst years. They went 5-11, 3 straight seasons. And that was the last time that they were ever truly bad, except for 2015 when Romo got hurt the whole year. Other than that, they've never truly been a bad team.
They've been good. I mean, you think about it the year, bro. I mean, damn, I never really thought of it. Wait, hello?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mixed reactions. I'm doing it on the phone, so I thought it cut off. But no, with as far as that, 2015, you guys get the 1 seed. You guys are riding a high off of rookie.
2016.
Or right, 2000. Was it 2016?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because that was the year my son was born. Oh yeah, because then they was early 2017 when they lost in the playoffs. Yeah, because they lost to Green Bay. Green Bay lost to Atlanta. Atlanta lost to
the Patriots.
The Patriots. But it's one of those things, man, to where you have been on some shitty because. Bro, if you are okay, with the exception of Justin's Patriots, you can almost make the argument that, I mean, shit, even more so than the Celtics, the Cowboys, out of all of our favorite teams, excluding hockey, we're not going to jump down that rabbit hole, but the Cowboys have been almost one of the more consistent teams. My Rams were just dog shit for a long time. The Patriots are dog shit now. The Red Sox have, been dog shit a few times. The Cowboys, like you said, with the exception of those 3 seasons, really haven't been that bad. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just one game. NFL
they just can't
playoffs.
Get over the hump. And that's what makes it more frustrating, Ian. If they were just the fucking Carolina Panthers and once every 10 years they had a really good season, I'd be like, whatever. At least I have something to look forward to once a decade. But when it's the Cowboys, it's every year they're like, oh, this is the best Cowboys team we've seen. This is the best. I've heard that 3 straight years. Oh, this Cowboys team is different. This is the best Cowboys team we've seen. They've said the same thing for 3 years. It gets to be up at the midway point in the season. Dallas dominates 3 or 4 straight games, and everyone's like, oh my God, this team is amazing. And then they choke.
And then not only choke, what happened against Green Bay this year, bro? That was embarrassing.
It's bad, dude. You know how we're always talking about how when it's your team, you can feel it when it's off? You just know when you're watching it, this is not good. So
Is that how that game?
So I don't know if you remember the first couple plays of the game, but first play of the game, they hand it off to Aaron Jones. DeMarcus Lawrence comes and smacks him for a 3-yard loss. I'm like, okay, great start. Next play, I think I think they sack Jordan Love, but ends up with a illegal contact, so Green Bay gets a first down. I'm like, okay, that's no biggie. Like, illegal contacts happen. It's only 5 yards. Then they get him to a third down. Love throws a dot for like 20 yards. I'm like, okay. Then they're in field goal range. So I'm like, okay, well, hold them to 3. Worst starts have happened. But no, they march right down the field, get a touchdown. So I'm like, I texted you guys right then. I was like, shit, this game's over. Anyways, that's just my personality. Like, as soon as something goes wrong, you've seen it. Like, even during that Cleveland series, when Boston went down like 4 points, I was like, yeah, this game. So you did it for me at one point. You tagged me like, Casey, this game over. And then I sent it right after. I was like, this game's over.
Yeah, like you were literally typing it.
Anyways, so Dallas goes down the field on the first drive for that game, right? And they're about 7 to 8 yards out of field goal range, but still they're about 8 yards past midfield. I'm like, okay, good start. And comes to like a 3rd and 6, I believe it was. Dak throws a slightly behind CeeDee Lamb slant. That slightly behind, yes. But CeeDee Lamb, with the type of season that he has, the type of receiver that he is, fully expect him to catch that football. He drops it, and we got to punt it right away to Green Bay. And I was like, okay, so we get nothing on our first drive. They went down and scored. In that moment, I knew. Like, I know I said it before, but in that exact moment, I was like, there's no shot we're winning this game. It was one of those things that I had that feeling on, and boy, oh boy, was I right.
Yeah.
That shit got ugly. But I don't know. I'm at the same point now with the Cowboys that I am with the Celtics.
Speaking of Celtics, we were talking about knowing when, how you're always saying the game is over when it's 3-2. I was thinking about this earlier. I was really happy for you when you guys beat Miami in Game 7 back in 2022 because you did the exact same shit. Like 3 minutes into the game, you're like, this game's over. And that was a hell of a game, bro. Jimmy Butler almost made that last 3. And you're like, let's fucking go. I'm like, you know what? Hold on, damn it. I'm glad to see Casey get his licks. Like, God damn it, that man. Because you're usually right about that kind of shit. And I'm like, damn, like, I know he's sitting over there actually hopeless. And then Boston ends up winning. You're like, let's fucking go. I'm like, there you go, Casey.
Oh, I was so happy, man. It's like I always say, man, like, I know during the football season, we mainly talk football, but my love for the Celtics, dude, is like, it's just a little below what it is for the Cowboys. Like, there's no doubt. Like, if someone said, gun to your head, you can only watch one team for the rest of your life, it'd be the Cowboys. It's no question. Like, I honestly wouldn't even hesitate. But I would fucking miss watching Celtic basketball, man. Like, I'd miss watching Maine hockey. I'd miss watching Celtic basketball. But there's no question it would be Dallas. It'd be the Cowboys. It wouldn't even be a thought.
Well, I think that kind of goes back. I mean, because you know me, I'm obvious. Like, I ain't never played a down of football in my life. I'm a huge basketball fan, but there's just something special about the connection to your football team. Like, I think, and maybe I'm getting a little too deep into this. Maybe a little not. But I think your football team, it's symbolism. Like, it's who you are.
Like, I will say this though, for baseball fans, man, they're like deep-rooted baseball fans. The connection to their baseball team is something special too. Like, deep-rooted baseball fans.
Yeah, for sure.
That's love. Like, I know some, or not so much anymore, but in my childhood, I knew some die-hard like Red Sox fans that, I'm not joking when I say they'd watch every pitch of all 162 games, man. Like,
yeah,
deep committed. And those people have some deep rooted. But yeah, I agree with you completely when you're saying that there's something like I've always seen you more of a basketball fan than a football fan. But what would you do? Say, gun to your head. This isn't a question, of course, but gun to your head, you can only watch one sports team for the rest of your life. It'd be the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
Even over USC football, because I know you love your USC football, man.
Oh. I mean, I don't know, man. God damn it. Why don't you just maybe pick between my fucking two children while you're at it? Shit. Like, bro, what? Like, man, I don't, fuck, gun to my head. Kill me, nigga. Shit. Oh, yeah, kill me. But, yeah, I don't know. Oh, bro, that's tough because, like, I guess I became a Ram fan before a USC fan the year they lost to fucking stupid ass cat. The year they lost to New England. But I mean USC, bro, like that was my team.
That's
oh
what I'm
my
saying,
god,
like,
bro. Why did you have to hit? That should have been the fucking question.
That is a good one.
God damn. I mean, I don't know, bro, because there were a couple of Rams games I missed this year just because Sunday I had so much shit going on. Probably, dude, that's fucking hard, bro.
I purposely do not make plans. Still. Huh? I purposely don't make plans for Sundays. Like, I tell my fiance all the time, I was like, I'm not missing a Cowboys game. Like, well, it's like, just not happening.
It's procrastination. But, like, USC, the thing with the connections are different, bro. I became a Rams fan. Like I said, they were good. They had just lost to New England. But when I became a USC fan, they were the 27 Yankees. Like, they were great. So, and the USC, we've had some down years, definitely, but not like the Rams, bro. It's I don't even know if I'd say a pride thing, but it's like when you stick it out, and we obviously know, we're not getting paid. These are just athletes that have nothing to do with our lives. But when you stick it out with a team for so long, bro, to see them win the championship, I fucking cried. I'm not ashamed to admit. I fucking sat there and cried, bro, a little bit. Because I'm just like, I was just sitting there laying on my bed like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I've watched this team for 20 plus years and have been made fun of for liking this specific team so much, and they win the Super Bowl. Like, it's really cool, man. And I always forget that you've never seen your team. It's like we just won the biggest game in the biggest single game in the United States.
The last championship my team won. Okay, well, aside from the Red Sox, you know what I mean? Because like, don't get me wrong, for baseball, I'm a Red Sox fan, and I enjoy catching a game here and there, and I'll watch important Red Sox postseason games. I will watch those. But like, and then the Bruins, obviously they won in 2011 as well. But when it comes to hockey, I'm way more of a college hockey fan. I know that's so weird for most people in America, but I'd watch Maine hockey over the Bruins a million times over. So for me specifically, what I could say my team, the team that I truly have a deep desire for, won a championship, was in 2008.
Right. Yeah. But that's the only time
you were funny story about that, Ian. So, you know how ESPN used to show like replays of the game at like 3 a.m.?
Yeah, I think so.
So that is how I had to watch the game. And it's because I was a stupid 16, 17-year-old kid who got day drunk the day of the game. And when I say day drunk, Ian, I mean...
Wait, you said game or games? Like it was all like a...
The last game, Game 6.
Oh, you guys beat the Lakers.
Yeah, when we beat the Lakers, right? So that day, I was a stupid 16 or 17-year-old kid who ended up getting day drunk. And I mean... When I say drunk, Ian, I mean I still can't drink that specific liquor to this day because of how fucked up I got. I'm not even, dude, cross my heart, swear to God. It was Orloff vodka, which is the cheapest, nastiest tasting, like rubbing alcohol.
Oh, the little red cap, I think, right?
Yeah. So my buddy ended up getting like, my body got like a half gallon. Just thinking about it, dude, my body got a half gallon of it, right? And dude, I still kind of gag thinking about it.
I can tell. I do the same shit with Four Locos sometimes.
So we were fucking... It was a hot-ass summer day, and we drank it outside, bro. Piss warm. And we were stupid kids, so trust me, we weren't sipping on it. Like, we were down in cup after cup after cup, right? And so an hour after we drink it, bro, I stumble home, puke everywhere, dude. Go right up to my room and fall asleep till about 2:30 in the morning, from like 5 o'clock at night to 2:30 in the morning, passed out, bro. And I woke up, like, thankfully almost like completely back to normal. Like, my head was pounding, but I wasn't fucked up anymore. And I was so mad at myself, dude. I'm like, oh no, who won the game? And so I go to ESPN and I catch it right as they're doing the tip-off on ESPN.
No
and
shit.
I watch it from 2:30 in the morning on.
Well, now, I have a question for that, and that's kind of where I figured your story was going. You didn't see the score run across the ticker at the bottom at all?
No, because when they did the replay of the game, they didn't show the score on the ticker.
No shit. You lucked the fuck out, bro.
Dude, I was so mad at myself, bro. And dude, I almost got in trouble for it, kind of. Rest in peace to my mom, dude. She woke me up at like 7 o'clock at night and was like, Casey, the Celtics game is about to start. You got to wake up. Why are you sleeping? And then she looked at me, shook her head, and walked out the door.
Oh, so wait, so rest in peace to your parents. Were they watching the game also?
So they weren't huge basketball fans, but she knew I was. And like, I guess she knocked on my door and didn't hear anything, and then walked in my room. And dude, she knew I was fucked up here. I was passed out on, you know how, like, on the opposite side of my bed. Like, I had my head where I normally put my feet. Gone, bro. Absolutely obliterated. Gone.
That's funny. I mean, my story isn't as dark as yours. Like, goddamn, you guys had a hell of a day. But mine, when the Rams beat the Saints and to go to that bullshit pass interference call back in 2019, I had to work that day. They didn't approve me off, or I didn't have to. I don't know. I just couldn't get the day off for whatever reason. So I had downloaded TuneIn Premium so I could because I know the first person that I went around was gonna be like, oh, Rams won or Rams lost. So I downloaded TuneIn. I turned off Messenger completely. I turned not on airplane mode. I turned all my notifications, all that shit off, and I just sat I was in Vegas already, and I sat in my car for like 3 hours and listened to the game. Like, at first I was just driving, listening to it. After that, I parked, smoking a blunt, listening to it, and yeah.
Wait,
bro,
why weren't you watching? I missed that. Must have misheard you.
No, well, I think at the time, well, we had K, but we didn't have anything to record it with. No. Sorry. As far as why I wasn't watching the game, I was at work. I could not get the day off. I was fucking pissed. My friend was a Saints fan. I don't remember if I couldn't get the day off or they just did. I don't remember, but I could watch the game. So I saw my friend Frankie calling me, and he knows how big of a Ram fan I am. I just ignored his call. I turned all my shit off, and I was like, "Don't nobody tell me shit about the fucking Rams game. I'm gonna beat your fucking ass." And then yeah, I just sat there and watched it. I didn't realize how egregious that pass interference call was until I got home. Because mind you, I'm listening to the Rams radio station, and they're like, "Oh, wow, controversial call. They didn't call that pass interference." I didn't realize until I got home that was like, I mean, that's why you could challenge pass interference calls now, right? Like that.
Well, you can't anymore, but that's why you could for that one season.
Afterwards. Oh, right. I don't know, but yeah, that's dope though, man. You really got. So you're essentially recovering from a hangover at 2 a.m, watching your team win by what, like 37?
Yeah, dude, I still this day don't understand how I got that lucky though to wake up literally like 2 minutes before the tip-off aspect of it, dude. Like, I turned it to ESPN, and it was a commercial, another commercial, and then it says, what was the message you said? You are now going to watch the pre-recorded something like that aspect of this game. Yeah. And so I was like, oh my God. Because originally I didn't know about it, right? And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to check the score. Oh, you didn't even
know that was a thing type shit.
Yeah. I was like, I'm going to check the score and go to sleep, fucking just finish my night. But then they said the game, and it just cut to basically the sideline reports, or side court reports, whatever, right before tip-off. And I'm like, my eyes widened, bro. I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'm going to watch this motherfucker. And then I watched the game, and luckily my parents were cool about it. Like, they knew teenagers were teenagers, and they were like, I mean, you bet. My mom first thing, she's like, you pissed it yourself? And I'm like, well, I mean, I told her, I was like, I woke up at 2:30 in the morning and they were rebroadcasting it. And she's like, you're a lucky little shit. You know that?
Dude, speaking, yeah, man, because parents, they were all young at once. I remember, man, like the first time I ever smoked weed, I know my dad knew I was high. He just smiled and walked away. Like I was in the living room or the kitchen pouring some soda. Bro, I walked back into my room. There wasn't shit in my cup. I must have been sitting there with the lid on the fucking soda, just pouring that bitch, bro. And I'm like, oh, hell no. That's funny as shit, though, man. That's cool that you got to wake up and see it. Hopefully you get to see hopefully you don't have to wake up and what's that shit called? Offers vodka. I know what you're
dude.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if I think about it to this day, I still gag a little bit. Like I can never drink that shit anymore, ever, ever, ever again.
My boy said he does that shit with Potter's vodka.
Oh man,
Vodka in general, man. It's just I don't know. But
I can't. I to this day will not drink vodka. I will not do it.
Really,
give me
at all?
rum, give me whiskey, fine, cool with those completely. I will not drink vodka ever again in my life.
I don't know, man. Hopefully, I mean, I don't think you'll have to wake up at I don't think you're gonna make a decision like that at this age. I might.
No,
but
I definitely would not.
I don't know, man. That's crazy though. And before we kind of started getting into our little thing, what I was gonna say is what I'm excited for next round, or not next round, but if we get to the finals, is like there's really like we kind of touched on this a little bit last week when OKC was still in play. And I think Cleveland was still in play, but like the only matchup where people might roll their eyes is if Indiana somehow gets there and plays like I don't know. But other than that, bro, like there's gonna be storylines. Like Kyrie and Luka, that's showtime. Mark Cuban in the NBA Finals,
dude,
showtime.
Kyrie
Boston
versus the Celtics.
Versus the Celtics, yeah, showtime. Minnesota, Anthony Edwards, that's all you need. You know,
just because of the relationship between Celtics fans and Kyrie, like that's a storyline within itself. Yeah, absolutely. And then of course, if it's Boston and Minnesota, the KG effect, that's a storyline.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's gonna be like I don't know. I think any way you slice it, with the exception of like if Indiana makes it, it might water it down. It's gonna be great.
I think Indiana, Minnesota would be I think that's the least matchup that people would want to see the least. You know what I mean? Okay, so Ian, we got 5 minutes left before we have to hop off because this game is about to start. Hit me with the question real quick.
All right. The question. The opposite of a statement. When one forms, okay. Who is the best? I don't know how to phrase this. Who is that? I had it earlier. I just didn't really know how to phrase it then. The best athlete ever.
Okay. This goes for all across the world then, right?
Yeah, fucking soccer, cricket, motherfucking boxing, UFC, all that shit. Excuse me again. I'm letting him rip on live. Mixed Ria, you ain't gonna get this on Undisputed.
I think a strong argument has to be made for Michael Phelps, right?
I mean, that's the first one that came to my mind. Shit.
But at the same time, it's just he's the most accomplished swimmer, sure.
You know what? We'll do it like this. Because this is gonna take too long.
Hold on.
I'll start.
Hold on.
Oh yeah. Maybe to cut you off. I was trying to. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's tough because he's obviously the greatest swimmer and one of the most accomplished athletes. But when you say the word athlete, what comes to my mind is, who fastest, strongest, jumps the highest, quickest,
not most accomplished.
Right. It's
necessarily
the most, almost like who's the most athletic, like the most pure athlete. In that and then there's so many things that come to mind. LeBron James, a Brock Lesnar, a
Usain
Floyd Mayweather. What's that?
No, like Usain Bolt. I was just adding on to what you were saying.
Yeah, Usain Bolt, exactly. And so I think that question has so many different. I think it's such a layered question.
Who's the greatest? Who's the best GOAT? Who's the best GOAT? Who's the best GOAT? Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky, and it's not close.
Not Mike. I don't know, man. Michael Phelps. I probably have to say Gretzky
But
too.
then you could argue Mark Spitz to Michael
Mark
Phelps.
Spitz. Or and then in the track, you could argue. I mean,
Jesse
nobody
Owens.
really debate. Yeah, Jesse Owens. You could argue the motherfuckers and then Carl Lewis and all those guys. Like there are, but hockey, it's Gretzky and then everybody else. Mark
Exactly.
Spitz, I guess. So yeah, I would probably have to go Gretzky. Second, I would, I know it's not gonna be a ranking thing. Second, I would probably go Phelps. I mean, because the shit that he has done, bro. When you talk about domination, like a picture of Michael Phelps shows up. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. No, of course. Yeah, especially in the sport of swimming. Like, I think he's very close to the clear-cut GOAT, just because of how accomplished he was in the the Beijing Olympics, I believe.
Yeah, he won like literally every single event almost.
Yeah.
Just levels to
No,
this
that's
shit,
a
man.
great.
But
That's a super good question. It really is.
but yeah, man. Nice that we got to do the show. I'm glad that because I don't really think that we'll definitely touch on a little more basketball, as the conference finals go along. I think that at this point we kind of know what we've seen. We've seen that Minnesota just came back. We've seen that Boston's been dominant. I don't think with the exception of Minnesota kind of pulling that off, I don't think we're really too surprised to be where we are. But we'll definitely get into a little more basketball analysis next week for sure.
And go motherfucking Celtics, boy! It's game time. Let's fucking go. Just want to throw that out there.
All right. Well, again, we really appreciate mixed reactions, all three of you that actually listen to the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on any new videos.
And I hope y'all enjoyed my story.
I did. Good night, Canada.